The big win for many reasons. Let's deal with the footballing reasons first, because that puts you in the top 8 tonight, and those points could be, at the end of the reckoning of the league phase, very important in terms of finishing in the top 8.
Yeah, of course. We were 3 points behind Inter. And apart from that, if you want to end top 8, I think 15 points is the minimum you need. So, yeah, the best thing you can do then is win over here, which wasn't easy because they have a very good team, started the season really well. But I think overall a good performance from us.
Yeah, and you set the team up differently tonight. There was, of course, pre-match, Lewis and I were chatting about the importance of the midfield helping the defence in terms of their job. Did you see that tonight, and were you pleased with that midfield performance? Yeah,
definitely. Although the midfield is always helping the defence a lot. But like you said, I think there was a lot of commitment from the players. Second half, I think we pressed a bit higher and more aggressive than we did in the first half. That had also to do with the changes they've made. So in the first half, we decided to keep a +1 in the back. But in the first half, they made a few changes, so it didn't feel right to do the second half, still do this, because Akanji went a few times all the way into the midfield. So we pressed them higher, but when we were outplayed, all 11 players came behind the ball, trying to make sure we didn't concede. And we were already a few times close, I think, to score, which we didn't. Although, yeah, we did score. That one was disallowed. And in the end, we got a penalty.
And the penalty was taken by Dominic Szoboszlai. His first penalty for Liverpool. Your normal penalty taker is back at home. And I know you've spoken a lot about Mo Salah in the last 24 hours. Does that result lead to relief from you in terms of what has happened over the last day?
If you mean the 3-3 against Leeds and the draw against Sunderland, then you're correct. Then it's a relief. But that is something different than what you were just describing.
So you can't separate what's happened. That still is.
I separate these things. Yeah. I think it was really hard for the players to concede in the last minute against Leeds, where, in my opinion, we already played a very good game. We hardly conceded a chance. That's in the last 4 games in general. We've hardly conceded a chance. To go away there with 3 goals conceded and a draw was really hard to take. And then that was already emotional. Then what happened afterwards was emotional, I think, as well. Cost maybe a little bit of energy. 4th game in 10 days for 13 outfield players available that have Premier League or Champions League experience. That shows you, I think, the resilience.
The energy you talk about that it took away, not just from you. You think it took energy away from the group as well? What has happened over there?
We should ask them, but like I said, conceding the 3-3 in extra time is already a big blow after the week we had, because we were so close of picking up 7 points out of 3 games. Then you concede. Then, of course, there's a lot of things being said, and I think that always affects a team a little bit as well. If you've been in the dressing room, you know, okay, it's about a player with the manager, but or with the club, but that normally affects players a bit as well, especially because he's been so influential for the club and for the players. So it's never nice, I think, to see something happens like this to one of their teammates.
Would you like to sit down and have communication with Mo Salah before he goes off to AFCON at the weekend?
I think tonight it should be all about what we've done over here in a stadium like this against Inter winning. All the focus should be on that tonight, and I can fully understand if I go Friday again into the press conference that all questions will be about Mo, but I think these players deserve now that we speak about them.
Well, I don't exactly agree on that, because
you're a journalist now.
Yeah. And I mean, we have obviously great respect for you and Mo Salah and everything, and we don't want to be polemic. But it's also to understand, because there's a lot of assumption made by us as well. Do you have the intention, though, to bring him back? Like, because that is our view, right? I would love to see that happen, because everybody makes mistakes in life. Things happen, and you always have the spirit. What is your spirit, which we can...
Yeah, but then you say everyone makes mistakes in life, so the first thing should be, does the player think he's made a mistake as well?
But how are you going to know that if you don't talk with him? So you're going to talk with him to understand that?
I haven't said that I'm not going to talk to him. I just said that the focus should be...
I know.
And then the next question is, should the initiative come from me or from him? Now, that's another question to answer. But as I said, the focus for tonight should be about, for example, Virgil, because the fans are singing for him. But not only Virgil, I think Ibu Konate, he's had maybe a few difficult moments recently, but he played an outstanding game today as well against 2 very good strikers.
No, the team has performed definitely. We all agree on the fact you were very compact and everything. You know, the curiosity here, because we know how important the rest of the season will be.
Yeah.
And that's why this topic is important, not because we want to talk about the polemics, but you just said something very important. Your players here perform very well. You're laughing.
He's going in another angle.
Yeah, because it's you have shaped a team from last year, taking over from a very nice run they had. All the goodies came. Last year I said you guys peaked too early in the Champions League. Right. This year it's struggling a little bit more.
I don't think we peaked too early. We had bad luck that after ending up first, we had a draw against
That's
PSG.
true. That's true.
And we peaked against them because we were the only team that brought them to penalties. So yeah, I don't think we peaked too early, but unfortunately we had to play a team.
That was already a final, practically.
Practically, although afterwards they had with Arsenal and Aston Villa some difficult opponents as well. But like I said, we were the only one who could bring them to penalties last season. And unfortunately, we were not able to win against them. But they deserved to win it in the end because they had a fantastic season with so many good players.
I just wanted to share what I said, so you don't have to answer anything. I said that I believe that the team, the club, and the coach, when a player is hurt for whatever reason, right, wrong, whatever, should make the first step and open the door for him to then see what is happening. This is was my comment.
Yeah. Okay. That's your opinion.
So no. So I'll see what's going to happen.
Daniel,
anyway, good luck with
in.
that.
Yeah, of course. Of course, I'd love the situation to be resolved with Mo. I love Mo and love the club, and would love for you to repair the relationship with him. That would be great. On tonight, defensively, Arne, how impressed were you with your team's commitment in the defensive phase? Clean sheet in the Champions League against a very difficult opponent, playing away from home. How do you feel about that tonight?
I think I've said a few times already after the PSV and Nottingham Forest game where we've conceded 7 goals in 2 games. I think it was time for us to concede less. And I think that's what we did afterwards. So the first game against West Ham, we had a clean sheet, conceded the first chance in the 90th minute. Then we played Sunderland, where we conceded the first chance in the 96th minute, because when they scored, that wasn't even a chance. Leeds hardly created a chance against us, scored a set piece, got a penalty from the VAR, and made a good goal. And tonight, again, I think there was only one header from, I think it was Lautaro, who headed it. Great save from Ali. And a free kick that came close. For the rest, I think I saw a performance from a team that worked really hard, showed a lot of resilience after another disappointment, because I think the goal we scored on another night, that would have been a goal. That was maybe the only 5, 6, 7 minutes afterwards where we struggled. But we showed character in the second half. We changed a little bit the tactics, and we did really well.
Could I just ask one more question? Sorry. The creative chemistry. You've got a lot of games coming up, and you've got a lot of new attackers. You, of course, lose Mo to AFCON. With the games being so quick, how do you plan to build on the chemistry, whether it be on the training field? Is it via video, or how do you plan to do that?
No, it's mainly then video, what you can use. Although Saturday we play, and I think then we have a week off. Not a week off. We can train a week before we play Tottenham away. I think there's again a week in between before we play at home against Wolves. I'm not 100% sure. So there is a bit more training time coming up.
There, your fixture list up there.
Okay.
There you go.
I was right.
You're right.
Wolves, yeah. No, but I think it's not common in football that you play 4 games in 10 days. It's not common to play 3 games in 7. And that's what we had to deal with only 13 outfield players available tonight. If I exclude our very talented players that we also brought to this game, but all 3 of them have no Premier League or Champions League experience. And Conor Bradley suspended on the weekend, so another challenge coming up, because Brighton had a week to prepare for us, and we've got a few days for them now.
Your press officer is giving me daggers, so I'm going to have to let you go. Lewis wanted to ask you a question, well, but I'm sorry, I have to say next time.